Ah, yes, Pokemon. Wait, tier list? Never heard of them. Alignment charts? Now that's what we're talking about. I'm going to do Pokemon types on an alignment chart. I don't really have to explain it too much. The moves that are ones that I feel like get used all the damn time, they go up on top. The moves of the type that feel like they just don't see any use or they're used very infrequently, they go down near the bottom. From there, I will move these different types along the design layer. Or the design axis, I should say. I did not plan any of this. I just did this off the cuff. Great idea, Quill. Brilliant. But anyway, the moves that are the most useful go on top. Moves that are least useful go on bottom. And then the types with the designs I like the most will move over to the right. Designs I like the least will move over to the left. And we should have a pretty solid idea of what constitutes good and bad types, in my opinion. So, we're going to do this nice and simple. And, just to make sure my memory doesn't sink me, I'm pulling up Datadex so I can check the moves real quick. I can recognize almost all these just on sight. So give me one moment. Again, we are professionals here. Alright. All generations. Let's start with... Dragon can't be first in alphabetical order. That can't be right. They did not set this up. Okay. Hang on. Yeah, Dark's above that. What the... Alright, they're running Dragon first. Let's run Dragon first. Probably because whoever put this list together was like, oh, Dragon and Electric, they're my favorites. They're S tier, so they go first in this list. They found those icons first, one of the two. Let's see. Dragon Dance is good. Dragon Claw is pretty normal. Most of these I haven't used. Dragon Pulse is the special version. I hear Dual Chop's good, but I've never actually used it. Dragon Tail is alright. The Force Switch with damage is actually better than just using Roar. Aside from that, most of the good ones are signature moves, which are technically niche uses because they will only be on those Pokemon who have them. Dragon Rage does guaranteed 40 HP damage, which is good for early game, but late game when you've got, you know, Pokemon that have up to, I don't know, 400 HP as a general average, not very useful. So, let's put Dragon about here. You kind of only ever use Dragon to counter Dragon types. And it doesn't have a lot of status moves aside from Dragon Dance, but Dragon Dance is a really good one. It does have Clangorous Soul. I think Clangorous Soul is specifically one of the signature moves of the Promo line. And I don't use those. Raises all stats by using some of its HP. So it's basically Belly Drum for... Well, not Belly Drum. It's basically... Okay, yeah, it's basically an Ancient Power stat boost, but you're losing your own health to do so in exchange for actually getting it. Makes sense. Now let's bring that down. Yeah, just a little, about right there. Anything that's going to be on the edges is basically equal. So, I think that's fair. Let's see. What's going to be a very high-ranking type? I want to pick something that's a good example on the other end of the spectrum. What's Psychic? How good's Psychic? Agility, Amnesia, Barrier, Ally Switch. Yeah, okay. That's not really useful in most situations, but, I mean, that's already... With Calm Mind, that's 4 right off the bat that are really good. Fury Spell. Yeah, okay. I don't think that's a special move. I think that's a status. Oh no, it does do damage. It's just not shown on here for some reason. Okay. I won't argue with that. Most all of these are really good. I mean, if they're not signature moves. Again, some of those are powerful on their own. It's just a matter of, like, are you going to use the Pokemon that has that? No? Then why does it matter? But a lot of the other moves with Psychic are really good, and it's got a lot of really interesting, at the very least, status moves. So I think that is actually a very good choice. That scrolled up a little. Don't need to do that. Okay, I'll just work them in order from here on out. I'd say that's a good spot for Psychic. Actually, let's bring that up a little higher. There aren't many types that are going to do better than Psychic in terms of status moves. And just basic attacks. Like, Psychic is good against enough types. I think it's only like super effective against 2 types, but it's really good against most types because not a lot of things resist it. Yeah, I don't see any reason not to have Psychic marked pretty high. Of course, if I'm wrong on anything, you know I'm gonna write it on the screen in post. All right. Electric. Electric is only really used for countering water and flying. That's the only thing Electric's any good for. And a lot of the Pokemon that use Electric types and don't have a signature move, I think Magnezone and Manectric are the only ones that are special focused instead of mixed attackers or physical focused. There's a lot of really... It's hard to see any good, like, physical electric moves, aside from Wild Charge, which I don't use, and a bunch of signature moves that shouldn't count. So Thunder Punch, and then Thunder Fang and Spark are the same power. Nuzzle's guaranteed paralysis. But aside from Thunder Wave and having an electric move for the sake of coverage, I don't see Electric as being as, like, terribly useful. Electric does have Magnet Rise, so it's a little better than Dragon because it does at least have one move that counteracts its only weakness. It's just a little better than Dragon. I'll set it right on top. I think that's fair. Also, if you disagree with me, you disagree with me. That's just how this goes. I'm just double checking that I'm satisfied with that. I think I am. Yep. Next on the chopping block seems to be Fairy. Fairy. Crafty Shield is Clef Key exclusive. Dazzling Gleam. Decorate's useful. Decorate's really useful. It's only on Milcreamy, but it's really useful. Fairy Lock. Not very useful. Yeah, I think... it's got the worst terrain. Fairy is automatically going to be better than Dragon because it's super effective to more types than Dragon. Status moves include Moonlight, which is healing, Sweet Kiss. A lot of these are signature moves. Yeah, you've got Charm, Baby Doll Eyes. It's nothing great. So I think just barely gonna go over Electric, like that much. The healing does make it more useful than Thunder Wave, but that's about all I can say. Ghost. Oh, I may do Ghost later. I don't know if I want to deal with that right now. Objectively, I think Ghost probably is one of the worst ones in terms of, like, usefulness. Aside from the status moves. First, I don't ever use. Confuse Ray is alright, but Confuse got nerfed. Which is kind of a good thing, kind of a bad thing. Destiny Bond is... Hex, real good. Infernal Parade, I'm so... glad that move got added. And Ghost types play a lot with status effects, so Hex is even better for that, but honestly, better off using 2 Shadow Balls. There's a lot of interesting tech you could get out of Ghost attacks, but 9 times out of 10 you're actually better off just... A lot of Ghost's better moves are either signature moves, again, or they're like one of the 2 status moves that are actually really good. Because honestly, there's only 2. Spite... what is it? Yeah, it cuts 4 power points from a move. That's what I thought. That's good for shutting down, like, the super powerful moves that have 5 power points. That's about it. And even then, a lot of people who will use those moves will probably have used a power point up or max on them. They can use them just that one extra time. And if that's going to be the case, you may as well just use Disable, because a lot of Ghost types have that. Unless you wind up with something with Cursed Body, which forces Disable at random. Use Disable, you don't have an ability, practically. Really dumb. So... I think I'm actually going to put Ghost... right here. And I wish that these were layered better, but that's not how that works. I will fix that when we get to the designs. Don't worry about that. Fire. I'm not familiar with some of these signature moves. Who has this move? Oh! I have never used Volcarona, so of course I didn't know about that. Okay. That's cool. Fire is actually better in almost every conceivable way than electric. But it is all offense. It is all offense all the time. Will-O-Wisp, Sunny Day, and I think those are the only status moves on this entire list. Yeah, those are the only 2 status moves on this entire list. But both of those are extremely useful. So, I'm going to give it just above the middle of the road. I think water's probably going to go above it, but ice, I'm not so sure about. Freeze Dry, really good. Hail's not terribly useful, but Haze is. Ice Beam. Ice Ball would probably be better if it was on more Pokemon. Ice Hammer. I think Ice Hammer is exclusive to Crabominable. Yeah, that's right. I gotta double check. Yep, okay, I know what I'm talking about. Never mind. What an idiot. Alright. I think Ice is just... I think Ice is actually the most middle of the road. Because it's good against, you know, enough types, but so many types resist Ice, and so many types are super effective to Ice. Ice is the type you throw on for coverage. But you get so many Pokemon that get it for coverage moves that it's honestly not even a concern. Actually, by that logic, it's probably... double check real quick. Missed. Events lowering status for 5 turns. Haze restores all to normal. And that's all. Hail's really only useful for boosting Blizzard and dealing damage to anything that is an ice type. So that's objectively worse than Sandstorm. Aurora Veil's only useful in... No, and Freeze Dry is literally one of the best ice moves in the entire game, because it's the only ice move that's super effective to water. Oh, not my phone. You know what? I'll put you right here above Fairy. Like, significantly above Fairy I don't think is too fair, but like halfway above. Yeah, that'll do. That will do. Alright. Let's see here. Water. Oh boy. Water. Aqua Ring. Brine. Aqua Jet. Bubble Beam. Bubble Beam's not amazing, but it's something. Crab Hammer's on enough Pokemon that it's worth taking note of. Dive. I don't know about Dive. That is a lot of G-Max moves. Hydrocannon, not my bag. No, not Hydrocannon. Hydro Pump, not my bag, really. I like, you know, the high accuracy moves. In spite of the, you know, the hit I take to my accuracy. Or not accuracy, but the hit I take to power. In exchange for the accuracy. I think the accuracy is better. Life Dew is good for team support if you ever wind up in that situation. Liquidation. Always solid. Akazuka. That has a lot lower power than I thought it used to be. Rain Dance. Rain Dance really is going to bump that up. Scald, having the highest chance to burn of any attack. Soak isn't great. Soak's actually better as like a team support move. So you hit something else with Soak, it also becomes water type, so it resists like attack that would be super effective on it. Surf, easily the best HM in the entire franchise. Good because it's the one that's most required. And the only game Surf isn't required in is the game that has basically no water types. Yeah. Well, by comparison, anyway. Withdrawal isn't great. Water Sport is, or at least was, on Budew. And that was the only instance of Mud or Water Sport being on a Pokemon that would actually get a benefit from it. So I think Water might actually be the single... Why do that? I think Water might actually be the single most useful type in the entire series. Let me fix this. Let's make the screen right quick. Much better. That's gonna be fun when we have to fix where it sits on the design spectrum. God. Still not low enough. That's better. Okay. Bug. I'm tempted to put this all the way at the bottom because I basically never use Bug, but a lot of its moves are good. I think. Bug Bite, Bug Buzz. A lot of these are signature moves. Bell Stinger do. Oh! Okay. I've never seen that come into play. Leech Life getting that massive buff in Generation... you say 20. Leech Life getting that massive buff in Generation like 7 really pushed Bug up a lot. This is Lunge. That's a lot of Pokemon that use Lunge. I've never seen that move used before. I'm assuming that was like Buzzwole's signature move for a while. I've never seen that move used in my life. Oh! It's an 80 power move that lowers... No, that lowers the opponent's attack. Why does no one use this? Is it just on Pokemon no one uses? Yeah, that's probably it, actually. Okay. Pollen Puff was recently added. That one's really good. River Dance. Signal Beam. There we go. Hit or Smack is fun. Oh, that's what Spiderweb does. Okay, so Skitter Smack is basically Special Lunge, but more available. And Glow, not a lot of Pokemon have it. U-Turn! U-Turn, there it is. Bug is probably above Psychic, but maybe a little below Water. Just a little. Actually, I may wind up switching those two, because those are a lot of good status moves. I gotta give credits due. Fighting. Fighting is going to be really high up there because it's just generally useful to have. Then you've got Power Up Punch. Counters. Reversal's interesting. Revenge is good. Liquid Sword's only really on 4 or 5 Pokemon. That is McTellis I've never used. Sky Uppercut hits during Fly, which is not really useful in a lot of situations. Is like late game, who's going to be using a flying type that's going to take... Well, actually no. Never mind. Never mind. I realized what I was saying was wrong as soon as I started saying it. Vacuum Wave I've never seen used. Victory Dance is only in Legends as a signature move. You've got Brick Break as well. You've got Body Press. You've got Aura Sphere. I'm not a big fan of close combat personally. There's Coaching, Tech, Drain Punch. Flying Press is a signature move, but that's a really interesting tech move. Jump Kicks. Largely, I think these are good moves. I think Psychic's getting brought down some. Fighting gets moved slightly above Psychic. Fighting is also like my least favorite type. And it's a good thing its moves are accessible to a lot of other Pokemon, because when we get to designs, you'll know. Steel. Let's say that's a really short list, and I realized I wasn't looking at the whole list. I think the only Steel moves I've ever actually like tried to use have been Flash Cannon, Heal Wing, and some of the status moves. But a lot of those status moves are signature moves, or were at one point. I've never seen a Pokemon using Automize. Or Autotomize. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce that. Bullet Punch. I've seen that a few times. Gear Grind's good. It's only on the Clink line, I'm pretty sure. Yep, that's right. Gear Up. Mardil. Clink and Magearna. Iron Defense is good, but I don't use it. Iron Head, that's the other one. Iron Head and Flash Cannon, it's like the only 2 moves I ever use for Steel. Like, maybe Steel Wing, if I've got a flying type that needs just an extra bit of coverage. That's it. Really? Filters on Hisuian Gudra, which is only in Legends Arceus, but it's really good. I'm not going to count that too much. It's a signature. I think because it has no status moves that are, like, terribly useful, that aren't signature moves, I think I've got to put that as the worst one so far. Yeah. Being super effective against Fairy is only so useful, especially considering the fact that Poison exists and does the same thing. Well, against most Pokemon, not all of them. Alright, normal type. If ever there was a type that needed the center of the board, I think it'd be normal. Acupressure, Baton Pass, Belly Drum, these are already pushing it up. Chip Away. It's good. Conversion. I don't actually know what these do. Changes its type to become the same type as the move at the top of the list it knows. Conversion 2. Same type, or resistant to the type of the attack the opponent used last. New type selected is random and cannot be a type the user currently is. No eligible move type, the move will fail. Not bad. Reason no one uses those though. Disable, of course. Fence Crawl's good if you got Roll Out or Ice Ball. Dizzy Punch is interesting. Double Team. Double Team. Got Milk Drink and Soft Boil, those are signature moves for the most part. Encore, Endure. Oh, matches your or matches the opponent's ability to yours. That's what it is. Extreme Speed, Quick Attack for the same reasons-ish. False Swipe, there it is. There's the move for me. That and Flash. The Fury moves are good. Growth, Flare, Heyday. Forgot about that for a second. Headbutt, that's a powerful one. Head Charge. I haven't used it myself. Oh, what is this? No one learns it! What? I have to look that up again. Okay, thanks, Future Cool. Hyper Fang. Super Fang's the weird one that does the half health thing. Hyper Voice. That's just loud. Okay. Metronome. Ooh boy. And Morning Sun. And Recover, obviously. Pain Split. Forgot about that for a second. Why is that a normal type move? That should be Ghost, actually. Protect. Rapid Spin, which got a buff recently. Turn. Revelation Dance should not be a normal type move. It should not be on this list. Roar. I think we already discussed that one though. Breach. Yell Smash. What does Serpent do? Serpent's Porygon only basically, and it only raises the attack by one stage. Okay. Not great. Sketch. I don't know if that counts. Black Off. Not great when you've got Recover. but most Pokemon that would have that don't have recover. Ooh, spring. Yep, that and Flash are really good. Also Splash. Also Substitute. Here's the thing, there's so many useful normal moves. And almost all of them are status moves in some capacity. Or they have an additional effect that makes them really good. So, you know what? I think Psychic and Fighting are going to be brought down, and Normal's going to go right below Bug. Actually, I probably need to transpose all of those and put Normal closer to the top, because they have to make the Normal type moves really good, so you'll use them. But again, most of the ones you would use are status moves. So, they're not great for offense, but there's so many different utility normal attacks, and they're available to so many Pokemon that you're probably going to use even still. Dark. Here we go. Knockoff. Nasty Plot. Night Slash. Night Daze. Power Trip is interesting. I've never used it myself. Suit. Sucker Punch. That is not as useful as I think it should be. I'm not even all the way down the list. Yep, there's Crunch, Dark Pulse. Dark Void doesn't count. Darkest Lariat actually does. Faint Attack. Foul Play is interesting. Bone Claws is really good. This is gonna get a boost from Coil, I just realized. My god, I just saw the partner Eevee Dark move is literally just named Batty Bad. Oh no. Beat Up. Beat Up has such an interesting concept. It's a shame it's not amazing. Yet. Okay, and Topsy-Turvy. Ooh. That went real bad for me recently. Yeah, I think Dark's gonna have to go up next to Psychic. I'm actually gonna put them on the same level. Or somewhere in between these two. No, I think I'm gonna put it on the same level as Psychic. Because Dark is a type that's available to a lot of Pokemon as well, and they're real good. By the way, don't think that Dark is in unfavored designs compared to Psychic. We're just doing that for now. Ooh, Grass. Rock first. This might be one of the lowest ones on the list. Cause Rock Blast, Power Gem, Rock Slide, and almost all of the really good ones aside from Power Gem don't even have full accuracy. Smackdown. Stealth Rock is really good. But that low accuracy on almost everything. Sandstorm's alright, but it's slightly, I think it's slightly below Ghost. I think it's slightly below Dragon, technically. But a little above Steel. Because while that accuracy is low, Rock is actually good against enough types that I would still use it. Oh boy. I think I want to do Flying next, actually. Because those last three are going to be hard to place. Flying. Luck, Roost. Hydrop is an interesting one. Tailwind. Oh boy. Hurricane. Only really good in the rain. Fly. Feather Dance. Feather Dance. About Feather Dance. Swords attack by 2 stages. Yep, Feather Dance is good. That's one of the moves that Tiny has, my Oricorio, from my Moon playthrough. wish I could use that one still. Defog. Defog's good. Got a signature move, but it's real good. Air slash. Acrobatics. I think flying's going a little above ice, but only so much. I think poison, just off the top of my head, is probably going to go like right next to fairy. Actually, no, it's going to go right next to ice. I think that's fair. Because poison's only really good for the same thing this fairy is, where it's super effective against stuff. And not a lot of Pokemon learn it. Unlike most of the other types that are, you know, the coverage only moves. Not as many Pokemon learn poison attacks. Or at least good ones. But then you've also got the status effect of poison and badly poison. Toxic Spikes helps with that. Venom Drench, Thunder Shock. You're going to want to use Toxic for sure. So Toxic, Venom Shock, Venom Drench, those are good all together. Sludge Bomb, Sludge Wave, Poison Jab, Poison Tail. Oh, it's a crit boosted ratio move. Okay. Purify, who's got that? Who's got that? Pyukumuku! Pyukumuku should have been poison type. It doesn't even freaking attack most of the time. Oh man. Poison Fang's good. Frost Poison's good. Coil is good. But again, like some of these are on like very specific lists of Pokemon, so I think the lack of accessibility is going to keep them from being in the middle, or middle to up. But I think it actually does go above flying. I forgot about some of those. Ground at least has to go here with fighting. We'll see if it's any better than that. Ground doesn't have healing, but ground has earthquake and spikes. Those two on their own are really good. Stomping Tantrum, not amazing. Sand Attack and Sand Tomb, both interesting. Mud Slap, less so. Mud Shot I think slows the target. Yep. Mud Bomb lowers accuracy. Magnitude, that one's fun. High Horsepower is basically... it's basically Earthquake, but with 5 less to both stats. And doesn't hit everybody in your team, so... there is that. Earth Power. Whirlwind, I think, has a boosted crit ratio. Yep. Dig is interesting at the very least. Bulldoze, that one's fun sometimes. All these bone moves are Cubone. I'm a little biased, but ground as a type is really, really good. And ground moves are super accessible, and they're good against 5 different types, much like fighting. Fighting might need to be a little up because of the healing and the stat boosts. But ground focuses a lot on accuracy reduction of the opponent. And again, spikes for the hazards, but I don't think spikes gets on enough Pokemon. And Stealth Rock didn't help Rock all that much. Like, I think Stealth Rock literally got it above Steel, and that's it. Grass. Grass is the healing type after normal. Put it up here next to normal for now. We'll see if it improves. Let's see here. Aromatherapy removes status effects across the entire party. I think that's everyone who's out. but that's it. Cotton Guard, boost defense 2 stages. Drastically. 3 stages? Jesus Christ. Why did they change that? Cotton Spore lowers speed by 2 stages of the opponent. Energy Ball. Good Drain. Not a lot of physical grass moves as memory serves, like there's Grassy Glide. And the only thing that does on grassy terrain is it moves first, but everything else is still good. Grass Whistle, Spore. Grassy terrain's probably the best terrain. I did not consider electric terrain when I was setting these up already. But like electric terrain's kind of only ever been a pain for me, so. One Leech, I forgot about that one, that one's really good. Leaf Blade, I forgot that one, that's like my bread and butter move on Superior. I've never used Gincheri Superior ever. Leech Seed, real good. Needle Arm I haven't used, but that's not terrible. Basically a weaker punching move with chance to flinch. Razor Leaf has crit chance. That's gotta be the Seed Bomb. Bullet Seed's honestly better, in my opinion. Mint Powder. Or Strength Sap, I feel like I should use more often. Synthesis. Stun Spore is really good. Worry Seed is interesting. That is the only one that has Drop Kick. So. You know what? I think this actually goes between Bog and Water somewhere. So I think that's about where they all deserve to go. Yeah, I think that's right. All right. Let's have fun trying to get water into place. But first, let's do grass because it's covering water. In terms of design, grass. All in all, taking a little bit of time to analyze. A lot of these are just plants. I still technically prefer the plant-like Pokemon or the plant-animal hybrid Pokemon to simply animals. So I feel like just animal Pokemon are boring. Snivy is my boy. And then there's Pumpkaboo, Gourgeist. Phantump and Trevenant are also interesting. I mean, specifically Gourgeist is a favorite. Like my third favorite Pokemon, period. Appleton's my favorite, so Grass is definitely doing great now. But it wasn't doing terrible before. I don't like Eldegoss all that much, but that's, you know, a drop in the bucket compared to all the really good stuff we've had recently. Like, yeah, it's Shiinotic the Ultra Beast Kartana, which is honestly one of the best designed ones. Tapu Bulu's not great. But like, when you've got Eldegoss, Tapu Bulu, and Shiinotic as like the worst. I don't want to count Zarude. It's a mythical, that one doesn't count. But yeah, when you consider that those are like the worst grass designs of the past however long, or based on their Pokemon at the very least, like I can't argue with that. And all of the ones in Generation 6, even though I don't like Chestnut, all of the ones in Generation 6 are good. All of them. So, you know what? I think going through the list, I think Grass might actually go to... not all the way up there. I'd say it'll go at least here for now. At least here. Make sure it's actually on screen. Yeah, okay. I've got a little bit more wiggle room just in case. But Grass is really good. Okay, you're gonna make me do normal. There we go, I can do water. me move it over here real quick. I think that may have scrolled up a little too much. No, that's actually just enough. Right, where's water at in terms of designs? Again, I'm not as intrigued by the generic animals. With a couple of exceptions, but Empoleon is my least favorite part of the Piplup line. But the whole line is good. Alligators, good. I like the Polys, actually. Poliwag, Poliwhirl, Poliwrath, Politoad. Those are good. Tentacruel's interesting. I don't like the whole, like, hooks on the bottom, but I like the newer slows as opposed to the old ones. Lapras, Vaporeon. Zimmer's bad. I have used Octillery at least. That one's solid. Mantine's a favorite of mine. Not like on my top list, but it would probably be on my top list of designs for you at least. There's Whiscash, there's Crawdont. I've not used Milotic, but honestly Milotic just pisses me off most of the time, but it's good design. Wolverine I'm not too fond of, but feels too freaking cute. Can't I actually like? Bibero, I actually like that design to an extent. Especially in the newer games, so like you can see how it moves around. It really feels like it's a solid addition. Now, because like when they have it sitting on its haunches, or sitting on its rear basically, they tried to make it look too human by doing that, I think. I have never seen a beaver do that in real life, but I've beaver, so take that as you will. Or a wild beaver, once. At least. Floatzel, definitely good. Minion, all the way to the back of the pack. No, I'm kidding. That would have been so much better if it had just originally grabbed when I clicked on the mouse and I could have just dragged it. Nope. I like Hisui and Samurott better than regular. Plasmatoad's okay. I like Basculin, actually. Blue Stripe Basculin's that rock had to prevent your own recoil damage. And then how many recoil moves Basculin gets is something. Also Basculegion, obviously. I gotta mention Basculegion. Darkosta's good design. I like a lot of the water types in spite of the whole, like, you know, generic animals with nothing interesting to them kind of thing. Because, like, they're good designs at least. They're cute enough. Or awe-inspiring enough in some cases. I think the pure water types are actually the more interesting too. That may just be me. Or where I'm looking right now. I think it's where I'm looking right now. So I go back up like 2 generations. Pure water types are... Yeah, I think water's actually pretty middle of the road in terms of its design. So I think I'm going to put that there and be done with it. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Bug. Bug, you are normal. You're going to insist on me grabbing you normal, and we'll do you next. I'm going to save all the birds for later. All the birds are saved for later. Ditto and Eevee. It said those are the first ones that I'm actually considering, and then Porygon, Snorlax, Bird I actually like. Save birds for later. Rockdow's good though. Ursaring. I think I'd prefer Teddy Ursa, but Ursa Ring's still good. Work on 2. Like Ziggs again. Honestly, like, Alolan Rattata is better than regular Rattata in my opinion. But after Rattata, like, there's 3 generations of good generic first round normal types. Because, like, Bidoof is a meme for a bunch of reasons. One of them is just kind of because it's terrible, but also Beabrel's a really good slave at the very least. Again, like, these days they have made Beabrel actually seem like it's a convincing part of the world. So what it used to just seem like. So that one really had to take some time to grow on me. We've got stuff like Wisdom. It's getting 3. Teddy Ursa burned on Hatron. Who's gonna get that reference? No one's getting that reference. Later. I'm not a big fan of Lopunny personally. Nothing like personal by that. Just not my thing. Ugly. Always had Skuntank. It's never used those. Gimlicky. Oregon Z. Patrat's where that started going downhill. But Lillipup, I'm not a big fan of either. But again, they at least gave you 2, which is an improvement. Chino's good. Heerling is good. Heerling is more of a normal type than a grass type, it feels like. But it does do the animal with plant, like, hybridization to an extent. Sawsbuck was a really interesting concept, and I wish Seasons was back in Pokemon. Birds later, Meloetta. First Psychic Fighting. And area form to pirouette form in terms of design in the first place. I think this is actually going to be pretty middle of the road. There's some real stinkers in here. There's some real stinkers in there, but all in all, it's good. So I think where it sits right now is actually fine. I'm going to move it out of the way just so I can pull Bug. This is where it was. Generally speaking, that should be right. Grass down just a little bit. That feels a little more where it's supposed to be. Bug. Let's do this. Venomoth. No, not you. I'm okay with Yanma. I like Shuckle. Every single one of the Bug Rock types I like. I don't know why. Because I hate both those types, generally speaking. Oh, man. Okay. Obviously, Enrith and Armaldo, based on what I just said. Mega I'm kind of okay with. Scolipede line. It's probably the... I think actually that's the only bug type I've ever used so far. So, that whatever you like. I did actually use, I think what the base form's called suddenly. The Orbeetle line. I used that for a little bit. It wasn't bad. But I took it off the party. Ooh, Larvesta. I've got bad memories of that one. Anyone who played Black and White went to go get the Larvesta egg and made the mistake of trying to raise it. You know what I'm talking about. I made it to freaking Getsus, and that thing was still a Larvesta. It was like half the level of my entire party. And it had the experience share from the entire time it hatched to that point. So, it was not good. I hear Volcarona was awesome. I don't care. Vivillon's interesting. I haven't used it. Clickavolta I haven't used. Rockland's literally the only spider Pokemon I like. Honestly, because it's a water type and it looks like an astronaut. Oh man, or an alien. Melissopod, I just sit there and remember how much of a hard time Guzma's gave me because I changed my choreo to fire type halfway through the playthrough before going to fight him. Blitbug, that's the name. Well, I couldn't remember that. Yeah, Bug does not have a lot of winners. Bug does not have a lot of winners. That's not surprising. I've got to put it down right here-ish. I think Rock's actually going to be better than that, but its moves are so freaking low that it's just not going to... Like, this is why I'm doing it this way as opposed to just a, up and down tier list. Alright. Speaking of Rock, let's do that one next. Why not? Every single time I say why not, my brain goes, wow, fat. Alright. Hisuian, Growlithe, and Arcanine, nope. Onix is alright. Rhyperior I actually like. Most of the fossil Pokemon I'm okay with at the very least. I like Kabutops. Obviously Armaldo. Bastiodon I've come to appreciate because I've been trying to do a Shining Pearl Nuzlocke. Just get my hands on another copy of the game, I will finish that. I like Rampardos, obviously. Arcosta I mentioned earlier. I think that's the last rock-type fossil. I also do like Aerodactyl, and it was one of the only megas I tried using. So, like, take that as you will. Chuckle, I did use Magcargo for the hatching buddy for a while there. In Diamond, at the very least. Tyranitar is my favorite pseudo-legendary. Hands down. Dragapult exists. We will get to that when we get there. I've not used... Or I've used, like, Aeron, maybe Lairon once. I've not actually used Aggron because I don't have the patience for slow, experienced build Pokemon. Well, can't, again, I like the design. Crustle. Should have mentioned that one earlier. Tyrantrum and Aurorus both. Fancy's a mythical, I'm not going to count it. Actually, Meteor's actually a good design, but Wassle's okay. I don't like how it goes from wheels to standing. I think Rock's going to be a little above Bug. Not by much. I put these almost right on top of each other, like I have a hard time deciding between the two, and the only thing that ever pushes Bug down any lower is the arachnophobia I've got. The fact that I just don't use Bug types a lot. Like, not just the type itself, but like, I've used maybe 3 Bug moves on a regular basis, and they're like, U-turn, Leech Life, and Signal Beam. So, I'm just saying. You know what? Let's go ahead and get Ghost out of the way. I think I know where this is gonna go. Because I don't think... Shedinja's not a favorite. But it's not terrible. Is there another I don't like? Is there one I just out and out don't like? Honestly, no. Like, maybe Runerigus, if that. Female Basculegion, there you go. It's like my least favorite ghost type design. All of the others are just fucking... They're bangers. They're all phenomenal designs, in my opinion, anyway. I know I'm heavily biased, but like, dang. And some of these have had to grow on me over time, but like, dang, dude. Also, Dragcloak is actually my favorite of the Dreepy line in terms of design. I don't know why, it just is. Yep. All the way over. It's probably off screen halfway. A little. But, yeah, it's all the way over to the other side. No question. I think that's in the right spot. There we go. I think that's actually better. Alright, Steel, Flying, Fire, Psychic. Actually, let's do that Psychic set. Let's just do all three of them right now. Then we can hit Fighting and we can be done with almost all the top half. I think Fire's going to need to move a little behind normal, I think. But we'll see. Dark first, because I think I know where that one's going. Regional variants. Eradicate's my favorite of that set. For the Gen 1 Alolan forms. Rock's not bad, I just... not a favorite. Or Persian. Umbreon, Murkrow. Murkrow being the Pokemon would serve as my starter. In Universe. No question there. Suing Quillfish and Overquill, good. Sneasel, this is my preferred form of Sneasel because the new one just doesn't land as well for me. Houndoom, Durantar again, my favorite pseudo-legendary. And Larian Lanoon. Obstagoon is still good. In terms of design anyway. Obviously Sableye. Torpedo's okay, Cacturne's okay, Shiftry I'm not as big a fan of. Groudon's good. Absol's got a good design, I just don't have great experiences with it. Honchkrow. I prefer Murkrow's stats. But Honchkrow's just got a really good... like a really good design. Skuntank and Drapion. Spiritomb again is good. Revile again is good. Samurott again is good. There's my boy Sandile. Zorba. Zoroark. Still good designs. Scraggy and Scrafty are not terrible. I'm just not big on them. Honeyard and Bisharp. Okay. Pass on those. Greninja. Obviously. Angoro's a good design. Malamar and Inkay are interesting, at least. Incineroar I actually really like. And that's it. I think I'm gonna put this... let's say dead center between these two. I think Ground's actually going to be a little bit lower than Dark, but not a lot. Nidoqueen is okay, but not Nidoking in my opinion. Sandslash I like, I just wish it was a better Pokemon. Onix and Steelix I'm okay with. Cubone, yes. Marowak, no. Alone Marowak is a yes. And Rhyperior. Phanpy. Donphan's actually kind of funny in its own way. Kind of like how Real Kirby's funny. Larvitar and Pupitar. I'm okay with Camerupt. It's not bad. Flygon's a good design, I just haven't used it for a specific reason. A couple of specific reasons, actually. Whiscash, absolute favorite fish Pokemon. Torterra's good. I think it could be better, but Torterra's good. Gastrodon's not my thing, but whatever. Hypnotoad's okay. Again, Sandile line. I can give 3 thumbs up right now, I would. I can only do the 1 because the other hand's holding my phone. I like the crocodilian Pokemon. That's the whole reason I'm gonna go fight Coco in Scarlet Violet. That's the only reason. Because I don't know what's gonna happen with it. But those, like Totodile and Sandile, have never steered me wrong. So yeah. Golett and Golurk are my favorite shinies. Zygarde's interesting. Palisand's good. Ursaluna's good. Norigas is okay. I think actually. These two are still almost right on top of each other. And I think it's because I keep associating these two with what used to be my favorite Pokemon. So, yeah. Also, I like to point out that the Pokemon that is currently my second favorite is like right here in this dead center point between Peak Design's an extremely useful move and the middle. Actually move these up a little. Dark ekes out a little because it's got more good designs. But like, all in all, I don't think there's many ground types I hate. So, and let's go ahead and get Psychic. Raichu's good. Galarian slows as opposed to regular. Galarian Mime. Mime Jr., Galarian Mr. Mime, and then Mr. Rhyme. Guno. A2. Xatu I'm okay with. Lugia. Gardevoir. Medicham. Rumpig I feel like I need to use at some point, but there's just never a chance to do it. That goes cute. I think the reason I don't use Psychic types too often is because I'm not actually impressed by the designs. That's probably going to be close to the middle line, but definitely towards the unfavorite spectrum. And a lot of the ones I like are the legendaries. Nihim's kind of grown on me, at least. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm right on that one. I think that's a good spot for it. I may shift around a little. Fighting so I can get that over with. You know what, I'm actually going to count how many fighting types I actually like the design of. 1. 2. 3. I'm kind of okay on Meditite, so let's say 4. 5, 6 for Riolu Lucario. 7 for Krogunk. No. 8. That may be 9, but I think that's 8. 9 for Stuffle. Yeah, you heard that right. 10 at Marshadow, 11 at Grapploct. Yeah, 11. 11 fighting type Pokemon. I think that's almost as many, if not less so, than Bug. And honestly, like, the designs I don't like, I like even less. Okay, so like, I think law of averages is the term here. where, like, by and large, I really don't like the designs I really don't like. Or there are more designs I really don't like, I should say. Because I'm mediocre on most of the bug designs. Like, the spiders are the ones that really bring it down. So I like fewer bug types, but I also hate fewer bug type designs. So fighting is always slightly lower than bug, and with the whole utility thing, I usually wind up saying that fighting is my least favorite type. So, there you go. Fire. Ninetales. Obviously a little Marowak, Flareon. Full Cyndaquil line, I prefer Hisuian Typhlosion. Obviously. And I changed my Minecraft skin to reflect that. Which, honestly, considering the clothing was just... I put, like, the neck spikes, and that was it. Cargo Ho-Oh. I like Torchic, but not its evolved forms. Buskins, eh. Blaziken. I've seen Trugan 7 redesign Blaziken. Oh man, why can't that be real? I like Monferno, but I don't like the two around it. That's the reason I never picked Chimchar, because I like almost the entirety of Turtwig and Piplup's lines. I just don't like most of Chimchars. And against that type I hate. Heat Rotom. Heatran. I actually like that design. Simisear, like the only monkey Pokemon I like in terms of design. Obviously the Chandelure line's phenomenal. Fennekin's line. Legendary I like, but I don't like Talonflame and I can't put my finger on why. Whole Litten line. All forms of Oricorio are interesting at the very least. I think in terms of design, my favorites are the two worst ones. Sensu and Ballet, I think is how you pronounce that. I don't know well enough, I'm sorry. Salazzle, obviously. Blacephalon. Licurkle. I'm not a major fan of Cinderace, but I ran Inteleon, so like that was the one I preferred. So I think Fire's gonna have to go. Because the thing with Fire is, like, I like the starters, and, like, the only 2 generations where I don't like the starter in any capacity, there's, like, one that replaces that set. But not much else. I think Psychic needs to go further down, and it's going to be slightly above Psychic. I think that's a good spot for it. Alright. Flying. Flying's gonna be super high up, I guarantee it. I think flying's gonna actually surpass ground and dark. I am a bird fanatic. Pidgeot's boring, but I actually kind of like Fearow. The Zubat line is a favorite of mine. But honestly, at the start of that line, that's my favorite design of the 3. That's, like, the weakest one of the trio, in my opinion. Again, Aerodactyl's good. Articuno, both forms. I like Galarian Zapdos, but it's hardly a flying type. Both forms of Moltres I actually kind of like, but I do prefer the newer one to that too. I think Articuno is actually the only one that I prefer the original of. Dragonite's okay. Noctowl. Hell yeah, knocked out. Robot's great. Not to Yanma, Murkrow, Mantine, Skarmory, Lugia, and Ho-Oh, especially Ho-Oh. Wingull, but not Pelipper. I didn't mention that earlier. Salamence, Tropius actually. In terms of design, I think that one's kind of fun. Obviously the Starly line. Obviously. Drifloon, Drifblim are great designs. Punchcrow again. Chatot. That one's so good. It's a shame Chatot actually kind of sucks, because Chatot's got such a great design. And Mega, Joker-Kiss. Unpheasant's well designed. It does not do well in battle, but this is all design focused, so. Sigilyph is interesting. Braviary in both forms. Rufflet, of course. Therian Tornadus. That's the only Therian I'm actually a big fan of, including Enamorous. Fletchinder, like I said, but that's the only one from the line. Rowlet, but not Dartrix. Oricorio, of course. I like the whole Pikipek line as well. Rickadee's line. Yep. It's largely positive. I think it's actually more positive overall than the grass. But the grass designs are good. The grass designs are good. Again, a lot of these are, like, a lot of the ones I like are kind of generic-ish birds. So they're still great designs in my opinion, but they are just animals. Largely. Get poison out of the way. Again, Nidoqueen, Zubat, Venomoth. The Galarian slows, once again. I actually prefer original Grimer and Muck to the Alon variants. Obviously Gengar's line, but not that Chiquit's form. Literally, the only thing bad about the Gengar line, that's kind of why I didn't consider it earlier. I just had to bring it up at some point. Galarian Weezing's fascinating. Not like a favorite design, but it's a fascinating design at least. It's good for the memes. Regular Quillfish is still pretty fair. I think Hisuian's slightly better, but regular Quillfish is still fair. Roses. Swallow can be kind of adorable in a derpy way. I never really thought about it, but like I was reviewing one of the Jaden Animations videos, and he just had a Swallow come over and kiss its Pokeball. I thought it was adorable. It was stupid. It's kind of like Nightjars in a way, where like it looks like it's got a tiny mouth and then it opens its mouth and it's just freaking huge out of nowhere. Oh man. Let's see, Croagunk, obviously the Scolipede line. Dolphin Drag Algae are interesting. I don't know if they're favorites though. Land at Salazzle. I think that's actually where that ends. Not counting Overqwell. Yeah, that's about where that ends. Impressed by most poison types, but the ones that are... I think it's just so many are bad, and the ones that are good are real good. I almost feel like this needs to be in the middle, too. Maybe a little offset towards the negative, because I feel like I'm not as impressed by most of them. Yeah. Like, I've got some standout favorites, I've got some generally like, hey, this is good. And when I say standout favorites, I mean like, you know, the Zubats, the Ghastlies, the Scolipeds, but like largely I don't think it leaves a strong impression, which to be fair is kind of the type in general, in my opinion. Oh, Ice. Oh, Ice. Ice has many pretty designs. I think it's actually one of the more visually appealing types. I say as I scroll over Piloswine. I think like 50% of them are good though. Like Galarian Zen Mode Darmanitan's a good design. I actually like Vanillux. Don't bother adding me, you're not changing my mind on that one. Kyurem, and Aurorus, and Mr. Rhyme. Ice Cube's had to take some serious time to grow on me, but I've come around to it. But a lot of the early, like the pre-Gen 5 ice types are really good design too. You've got Frost Roadhum's my favorite Rotom form. Weavile, Glaceon, Frostlass, Mamoswine's the best one of the set after Swinub. Thomasnow I kind of like, in a weird way. Feel, obviously. Delabird's actually a good design, it's just not a good... Come on. Sneasel, Articuno, Lapras. Yeah. And then the Alolan forms. Like, Ice is... Not you. Ice is pretty good in terms of designs. And like 50% of them are good. Bring these two down a little. I feel like that makes it a little more fair. Fairy. Oof. Fairy's the exact opposite. I don't think most of the fairy designs were the ones that got retconned to fairy. I think maybe, what, 3 of them were ones I really like? Yeah. 3 of them before Generation 6 were ones I really liked. Torgus is okay. Then you get Mimikyu, you get Alcremie, and those are really big favorites. I don't think it actually does enough for me. I actually think it puts it below Psychic. Which is weird, because Fury is one of those types I like. I guess on reflection, it's not that good. It's just got some massive standouts from the set. Because, again, like, Azumarill, because I'm sure it's great, I just haven't used it since it became Fairy type. But, like I said, Azumarill, Alcremie, and Mimikyu, those 3 gave me this massive just push towards Fairy being a good type. And, like, people like Gardevoir for reasons. It's not my thing, but, you know, each their own. Again, Weezing's at least an interesting design, and Ninetales, it's Ice Fairy, of course it's gonna be gorgeous. Electric. Electric's got some great designs, Electric's got some bad designs. I like the magnets. I like Alolan Raichu. I like the new Voltorb, I don't like the new Electrode. I don't like either of the originals. But, like, Hisuian Electrode's mouth just looks like a sticker was put on upside down. It's terrible. Lantern's okay. I like Mareep. That's about where I stopped liking the design. I'm sorry. I'm sure Ampharos is good, but I've never actually used one and gotten anything out of it. Electric is alright. Did not need that terrible looking Mega. Probably could have used a Mega, but just didn't need a bad looking one. I like Pachirisu, it's probably my favorite of the Pikachu clones. They're not counting Mimikyu as one of those. Luxray has a good design. Not a great Pokemon. Don't care what anyone else says. Again, the magnets. Rotom is a favorite for a lot of reasons. Seems like a lot of fun. Zekrom's kind of the only one in Generation 5 that really strikes me, which is funny because I used to like... Not you. I used to like zebras as a kid. I figured I'd like Blitzel and Zebstrika, but... eh. I think I went in with that Ponyta mindset, where like, I've used Ponyta and Rapidash and I'm super disappointed by them. I hope this is better. Not for me anyway. Pom-Pom Oricorio, not one of my favorite designs, but Oricorio's good. Surprisingly. You know what, I think that's actually going to go right around here. Steel. Let's do that before Dragon. I need to talk about Dragon. And slash Magnets again, Steelix again, Skarmory again. Polion, eh. Like, I like the Trident getting mixed in with... I think that's kind of cool. Bastiodon. I didn't mention Bronzong earlier, but that one's good. Lucario, Magnet. Dialga. I'm not bothered by Kling Kling, but I'm bothered by the two before it. I know. Holly Slash line. Not a big fan of the Hisuian Goos compared to the originals. Corviknight. And I think that's where we draw the line. And I think Steel's going to be... that. Ease up some. Okay, there we go. Dragon. Dragon has some awesome designs that I do not get to use. I have literally used one dragon type successfully that I actually trained myself. It was Appleton. That is the only dragon type I've ever been able to use. Which is sad. Again, you've got, in terms of good designs, you've got Dragonite, you've got Flygon, you've got Salamence, you've got, you know, Dialga, you've got Giratina, you've got freaking Zekrom, you've got Kyurem, you've got Dragalge, you've got Tyrantrum, you've got regular Goodra. That whole line's honestly good, but regular Goodra especially. And again, you've got Appleton, and you've got Dracloak. So it's a little under the 50%. I'd say it's above Water, because Water's got so many. I think this is the list. I think this is where everything stands. Yeah. I don't think any of this needs to change. If anything, grass needs to come up a little more. And that's it. That's the list. So, I actually think doing it this way was more fun, because if I'd just gone in without, like, really thinking about it too much, just going, like, based off of what I remembered and how I felt, I would have probably put Fairy up in, like, A tier. But looking at it here, I think that belongs closer to... Let's see, if we tried to make everything align... If we try to condense the data points down slightly... think we'd have rock, electric, steel in D tier. Fairy, fighting, bug, dragon, and those would be C tier. Poison would probably be the gatekeeper between C tier and B tier. B would consist of psychic, fire, ice, that'd be like midpoint on up. And then A tier would probably consist of ghost, flying, normal, water, ground, and dark, and then grass would be S tier. Which is not at all what I would have picked had I like considered it otherwise. But yeah, I think in terms of the like how often you're going to use the moves, how useful the status moves are, or just how good the move, like the offensive moves can be, I think this is accurate, largely. Some of these can probably be juggled around slightly, but again, generally speaking, I think this is right. And if this says anything about me, utility is a lot less important to me than design, but utility is still pretty darn important to me. Because I would mark water as like my second favorite type, in spite of the fact that if you look at this, it's clearly grass is my favorite, followed by dark. So, there are times I'd straight up pull grass off that list. Think of that whatever you will. Like if I did a top 5 list, I'd probably sometimes wind up knocking grass off a bit and putting like, you know, because dark, ground, flying, normal, all of those are still in that general vicinity. And again, sometimes I'd throw fairy in that list in spite of the fact that it's all the way down in what would probably be the C tier. So make of that whatever you like. So yeah, that was eye-opening in some ways, because some of these moves I hadn't thought about being specific types. Some of these moves I hadn't seen before, especially on bug. And then some of the designs are just like I had to like average it out in my head. I think this is how it turned out. I think this is how it was supposed to turn out all along. Okay. I'm not gonna argue with the results I've got. So, thanks for joining me on this little interesting journey. I'll see you guys some other time, hopefully for something a little more meaningful.